power that the Congress has is formidable, and it was created in an era where we weren't going to be dealing with toxic assets, and we weren't going to be dealing with regulatory reform, we weren't going to be dealing with green jobs, and it's a real problem. I think, as I've tried to argue, that I think President Obama has done as effective a job as humanly possible in promoting a responsible agenda through Congress. But if you take something like reg reform, or financial regulatory reform, not to use the jargon, it is mired in a series of intra-congressional jurisdictional disputes over who would be in charge of this agency or that agency if you happen to pass something. It is a very broken system.
Steve, we agree about the merits or demerits of legislative branches. I think we would agree on that point clearly. Having said that, the question is, what role does the executive play in defining the parameters of the debate? When it comes to regulatory reform as relates to financial services, the president did not strike a position, did not articulate a position that said very clearly, here's where we must go, which is what FDR did. FDR rewrote the rule book. This president, unfortunately, embraced the existing rule structure, moved jurisdiction around marginally without saying the fundamental predicate of the issue, too big to fail, must shift. He hasn't yet done that. Let me switch gears since you raised the metaphor of Albany. When we went to Albany, I did, in fact, on health care, fundamentally go to war with the entrenched interests about how health care would be delivered. We had an enormous battle, and we bent that curve in a very significant way. You can do it. It's a question of articulating, drawing lines in the sand. You won't win everything. The president has been admirable in many respects, but when it came to financial services in particular, he did not embrace the fundamental change that was needed.